This is Anycubic's new FDM 3D printer, Kobra. Anycubic has released two new FDM 3D printers, Kobra and Kobra Max, about a week ago. And I have to say that firstly, there are serious differences between Kobra and Kobra Max. This one is Anycubic's Kobra model you see, and it's one of my favorite 3D printers these days. Anycubic Kobra offers many features at an affordable price. PEI spring steel magnetic sheet, LevIQ precision bed leveling, an integrated direct drive extruder for easy flex materials printing. Kobra has almost everything. It has been released in a complete, upgraded design. And first of all, let's start with the printing value. Anycubic Kobra has a 220 by 220 heated magnetic printing pad and a printing height of up to maximum of 250mm, and one-sided textured PEI coated spring steel sheet that one of my favorites is used as the printing surface. This rough coated steel sheet is really great, and I totally trust it on the sticking. I think it's one of the best surfaces we can use for 3D printing. Yes, it's that good. Thanks for rough surface, even the smallest part of the print can stick very easily. And also one of the best part is that it's very easy to remove the print from the bed when it's finished. When you bend this steel sheet slightly from its edge, the print easily pops off the bed. And when we look at the bottom layer of the print, we get a nice, slightly rough and glitter looking first layer. As you can see, it's very easy to use. I really love this surface. By the way, as you can see, there are no springs and level knobs on the bed. This is because Kobra comes with the LevIQ inductive bed leveling sensor developed by Anycubic, and after pressing leveling on the interface for automatic bed leveling, the printer makes precise measurements from 25 different points in a short time and saves them to the memory. Then we set the Z offset with a paper, and so we complete the leveling process. I found this probe quite reliable, and having a bed probe in this budget printer is really important and nice, because leveling the bed manually sometimes turns into nightmare. However, Anycubic has completely solved this problem. It's great. And as you know, once you make automatic bed leveling, you don't need to make it for a long time. I think it seems impossible for this printer to have something like sticking problem, since it has both an auto bed leveling and a PEI magnetic sheet. When I look at the left side of the leveling probe, I see big improvements here. Anycubic used a direct drive extruder on its Kobra model, and from what I have seen, it's an ultra-compact integrated Titan Aero extruder. Making the hot end and extruder super compact form, the Titan Aero is more reliable, takes up less space, and lighter. Anycubic used a slimline stepper motor to drive the Titan Aero, unlike standard stepper motors, to show that it cares about lightness, and I see that this stepper motor is well fixed here. Also an advantage of the direct drive extruders over Bowden extruders, the Titan Aero extruder with a shorter filament path provides more precise control, improving print quality, and best of all, great for a flexible filament. It minimizes places where filament can bend or buckle, giving a better flexible printing experience, and if you ask me, Anycubic has made a good choice of direct drive extruders here. As you can see by the design of this extruder, there is no heatsink on the hot end barrel. The cooling of the barrel is provided by these fins on the extruder cover, which is in contact with the barrel and a 40mm fan. A heating block with silicone socks just below the barrel and commonly used 0.4mm nozzle that can reach up to 260 degrees were used. Extruder stepper motor, Titan Aero extruder, and all the other parts are mounted on a metal cover and can be attached with 4 screws on the X-axis carriage like a printhead module. And also in the rear inner, we have a part cooling fan and a circuit where all the wires are gathered. In order to cover all these parts, a nice blue cap has been designed. And although the printhead looks a little big with this cap, it looks very neat and cool at the same time. The first thing I looked at after seeing the direct drive on the printer was whether there was a double Z-axis. And I saw that despite the direct drive, a single Z-axis was used, not double Z. Of course it would be better to have double Z-axis, but after all, it's an affordable printer and double Z-axis would increase the price a little more. I don't think there will be a remarkable difference between double Z and single Z for a printer that doesn't have such a large print volume anyway. However, Anycubic has already used a Titan Aero and slimline stepper motor to make the printhead light, and the total weight of this printhead is around 480 grams. Not too heavy, but also not too light. So as a result, I don't think that single Z-axis will cause problem after adjusting the eccentric wheels well. Anycubic Kobra uses the 3 Gorilla Pro A version 1.0.4 motherboard with silent stepper motor drivers on it, and unlike other printers, here we see a large 80mm fan instead of 40mm for motherboard cooling. I honestly found it kind of interesting. I don't know if such a thing was necessary. Was the 40mm fan weak or something like that? I don't know. Anyway, the average speed of the printer is 80mm per second, by the way. You know, the average speed in 3D printers is usually 60mm per second. However, in Kobra, this value is slightly higher, which means that the printing time will be slightly shorter. Now I am printing at 80mm per second speed, and also the big motherboard fan is running at full speed. In this case, the sound level is around 55 dB at distance of 1 meter from the printer. There is no stepper motor sound. The only sound I hear is the fan noise, and I think it's a bit louder than normal. I suppose the reason for this is the big 80mm fan. As a result, in short, the sound level is at a reasonable level. By the way, looking at the bottom of the printer, on the front there is only the motherboard and a big fan. There is no any drawer in this empty part next to the motherboard. I think these wires are getting in the way. It would be nice if we have a drawer, but it's not a big deal. At the back of the printer we have a power supply across the width of the printer. Kobra comes with a sensitive response bright touchscreen like Anycubic's Viper model, and it comes disassembled out of the box and is fixed to the right front of the printer with short screws. On screen interface, menus are designed to be very simple and easy to use. There's nothing extra useless. In my opinion, it's a nice user-friendly touchscreen that doesn't tire the user. By the way, touch sounds can also be turned off. I couldn't see the option to change the filament on the screen during the printing. Nothing also comes up after I hit the pause. I suppose not. But maybe the filament can be changed manually. Have you noticed there is no end stop on the printer? A fun fact is when I first saw those holes, I thought they forgot to attach the end stops. However, Kobra makes auto home without end stops, and I can say that it works very stable without any problems. Speaking of the sensors, let's also take a look at belts and tensioners. These two GT belts transfer the rotational movement of the steppers to the carriages, and when I look at the tensioners, see an interesting nice design. They work smooth. By the way, it's nice to have belt tensioners on the printer, because as you know, the belts directly affect the print quality. Now I want to talk quickly about the inside of the box and the assembly. Kobra comes almost installed out of the box, and the printer can be set up quickly and easily in about 10 minutes. The biggest thing to make for assembly is to fix the gantry to the base. We fix it with 4 long bolts, then the screen and spool holder. Finally we plug in a few wires and done. It's that simple. And these are the tools and spare parts that came with the printer. Okay, I think Kobra seems pretty nice. Looks neat and high quality. The very top which the spool holder is fixed is made of hard plastic, not aluminum, and I think the purpose of this is to cost saving. If it's okay, which looks pretty solid, I think it's a good decision. Now let's move on to my thoughts on the printer. First thing I want to say is I think the Kobra offers great features for its price. Auto wet leveling and this awesome PEI magnetic printing surface. Even just these two features make the sticking of the print perfect and give the printer to be used for a long time without any problems. Besides, surprisingly, we have a direct drive extruder, which I think is up-level BD. Direct drive increases the print quality, and as I said, one of the best part is that it is great for TPU filament. So if the printer doesn't have a direct drive extruder, it's very difficult to get flexible prints. It's almost impossible. Besides, we have a sensitive touchscreen. The printing speed has been slightly increased, which is a nice improvement. In design, I think it's very good. It looks pretty cool. As for my negative thoughts about the printer, actually not negative, but I think it would be better if there was a drawer. It's not a big deal, but anyway. In short, Kobra is a budget printer that even beginners can use easily thanks to its automatic bed leveling and PEI magnetic sheet. Okay, these were my thoughts on Kobra. Hope it was useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.